guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's a girl Muibat, and today I'm going to be talking on the power of masculinity being overemphasized. I decided to have this particular talk because of what people tend to think about masculinity. Men are expected to behave in some certain way, to feel some certain way, and to react to things in some certain way. Simply, they are expecting us to express their emotion, like that. So they are expected to be that tough superhuman, like a mini god. People tend to see men to be a kind of god, whereby sometimes you just go to them, say all the things that are affecting this part, like the other gender. We tend to complain, not actually considering that these people feel too, like men and stone. There was actually a campaign that was launched some certain days back. I came across it on a WhatsApp group. It was in a poetry form. It was a poem where people tend to use the same theme to write more. So it was men, not stone. I actually wrote a particular piece on this particular one, and you'll be surprised to see how many men actually come out to express themselves that yes, we feel too, we are not stones, we are not God. Like, I was like, yeah, this is true, this is so true. And I remember one certain day when there was this man that lost his wife. Like, it was a sudden death, and the woman was still very young. So the man was crying, like he was feeling so bad, and he was crying. And a fellow man walked up to him, and he was like, stop, don't do that, you're a man, you shouldn't cry. I was shocked, because with the gravity of thing that happened to him, I expected him to cry, of course. And luckily there was also another man who was there, and the man was like, no, don't tell him that, you know the gravity of thing that just happened to him. And I was grateful he chipped in that. So sometimes we tend to see men to be that kind of people that are not supposed to feel, like they are for goodness sake, this is a human being. So you hardly see a man crying, like, even though they actually feel too, in the way that woman does. Like, sometimes when things happen, you see women expressing themselves emotionally, like maybe wailing, crying, or just saying things that it will make you to understand that okay, this thing is actually bothering them. Sometimes you see that these tears that we're talking about, it's a natural phenomenon, and sometimes it actually helps us to get over some things. There's some issues that it is only when you cry over them that you're going to feel that relief in your body, in your system. Because sometimes if you don't cry, there's going to be that kind of thing that is holding you down, like you're not expressing it, it is still inside there. But sometimes when you cry, it will be as if maybe that thing has been lessened somehow. So that is why I believe that crying is necessary to some certain point. And let's come to think about it in a situation where men are not allowed to cry. Like, if a man should cry, they'll be like, no, that as if it makes him less of a man. So you're not expected to. And in our home, I think that there is a way that women tend to portray men to their children. Like, in a situation whereby a child did something wrong, the woman is not going to punish him or her. Like, the woman will not punish the child. So it's only when there are sugary stuff, maybe she wants to give the child token for things to eat or whatever. Just when the loving comes, that the mother show up. So when the child asks something that he needs to be corrected, then the mother will just be like, your dad will be home, your dad will come back, and he's going to see to it. So the punishment side is usually left for the men, and sometimes we tend to create a kind of devil as our husband. Like, as the husband or the father of the house, we tend to create that image on the children, because children will grow to understand that okay, the mother is the loving one, while the father is the one that do the punishments. Like, if your children are not getting it wrong, you should go ahead and punish them if they need punishing, and stop leaving it to the small devil to do. Like, that's how it's saying. When there is need to show love, you are always there. So, and the children start to believe that okay, this is the woman that truly loves me, this one is always there to to beat when the time comes. So we see that men actually are human beings. They are not superhuman, they are not God, they are not immortal. So we should stop expecting them to feel in the way we think they should feel. Like when something happened, men are not supposed to, are not expected to act in accordance to how they truly feel, because that they do not express this feeling, that they don't come out to cry, to wail, doesn't mean that they don't actually feel like they want to. So in all of this, you see that because there are so much accumulated in their hearts, so much things in their mind that they cannot express. Sometimes when you ask a woman in a man's life that what is the problem that you are having in a relationship, it usually starts from communication. Men do not have that freedom of expression to talk about how they truly feel, because sometimes you see this kind of hurt that one may feel, to them it might be a kind of weakness and they do not want to show that. So when you start pestering, when you want to know everything that's up with him, what's actually the problem, why you so down, why you this, why you that, he may not want to talk about it because he doesn't want to be less of a man. So looking at this thing, I do not see expression or saying what your true feelings are, or crying, or just the normal emotional part of every human being to be weakness. It is not. So like I said, sometimes those things are needed in order for you to actually overcome the situation you are in at that moment. So in a situation whereby you cannot express yourself, or because you are not allowed to, you feel it's going to diminish your self-worth, then the things that are accumulated in your heart or in your mind is still going to be there, and it's just going to pose some negative things to you. So and people usually say things like this. I'm not saying I've seen it's proven or what, but I've seen it so many places that where people say that husband tends to die before their wives. I've seen it like that, and I'll be like, in a situation whereby what I said before about the woman creating this kind of image about the husband, then it's as if it is when the bitterness come, when the correction is needed, that the husband is needed. So in such situation, maybe when things actually start going well with the children, they understand that merriness is for the mother, whereby it is only when the hardness come that fathers are expected to show up. So all of these things, I think men also need those kind of feelings too. They want the love, they want the care, they want the affection. Like, it's not just about the female gender. It's not the loving part that you want to be loved, you want to be cared for, you want to be pampered, you want to be this and that. It doesn't just end with you. Men are human beings too, and I know that they also need these parts. They want to express themselves, they want to be loved, they want love. Sometimes when a man is in the midst of his friend, he cannot prophesize his love for his girlfriend or his wife, because even to love properly, to love so much, is considered as weakness to some men. Like you are not supposed to love, especially when the lady tends to jilt him, or she leaves, and he is being sober over it. You see people saying something like, "No, guy, you are a man. You should move on and forget about her. You're not expected to feel this kind of thing. You're not." So I am simply saying we shouldn't have our own idea of what another human being should feel and should not feel. There shouldn't be that specific attributes attached to genders on how they should feel or react, especially when it has to do with emotion, because one may not just express it, but anybody can be emotional at any time. It just depends on the situation such person is in at that moment. So we can only help ourselves. If we want our men to grow old with us, to enjoy life together, talking about married people, then we should try to see that even though we are always seeking to be loved, to be cared for, to talk and to be listened to, we should also understand that this man also needs the same thing, and give him exactly what you want to receive. So, and when your man starts to cry because he feels bad, then you should comfort him like you would love to be comforted. Encourage men to cry. Encourage your children to be emotional. When they feel sad about anything, then you as the mother should encourage them to cry. Let them cry. They should understand that crying is not a weakness. It's a way of showing emotion, and for the fact that you can't express that emotion is also a show of strength. So in all of this, you see that if you want to see it on this form, I would say that it's as if men are, caged, like there's this cage that's been created for them, and they are put inside. Like you are just supposed to go around this cage. You're not supposed, they cannot come out. They just stay there stuck, and that's what it has to that is what how I can explain it on the part of this emotional part, how they cannot express themselves, how they cannot feel the way they want to feel. So I think men should be freed. They should be allowed to live their life the way they would have loved to live it. Crying, being emotional, expressing yourself, talking about your feeling doesn't make you less of a man. In reality, it makes you more of a man, because like I've said before, in all, men are human too. They are not stones. So that was why when I saw that team, men not stones, I was like, even before I read what was in there, I knew that, wow, yeah, this is true. Men are not stones. And when I also tried to impute mine, I also put in that title, and I tried to write in accordance of what the team was all about. So encourage your boy child to cry. Stop making them feel they are superhuman, like the world burden is on their shoulder. They don't have to carry the cross of the world. They are human beings too. And you see that kind of compassion you give to your daughter, show the same to your son. Make them understand that love is actually a good thing. Show them love. And when they're emotional, I allow them to express themselves, encourage them to express themselves. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and please click the notification bell to get notified when next we upload. Thank you so much.